a lot of times I hear feedback from individuals when I mention risk assessments, and they say, well, the organization is going to come back and tell me to do all these things. It's going to cost me tons of money. What if I can't afford these types of solutions that they want to put in place? What's the point of having a risk assessment if they're going to point out all these gaps, and some of them I can't close?
Well, that's what risk management is for. There's different ways to deal with a risk. I mean, bringing in technology is not the only way to mitigate a risk. You can do risk avoidance. Sometimes we could get rid of risk by not doing something, right? Let's say that we have some publicly facing website or some capability that we really don't need. Then we could turn that off. We could do risk transference. Risk transference is when you transfer the risk to another party, which is what you do when you buy homeowners insurance or car insurance. You can get cybersecurity insurance. Risk avoidance, again, is avoiding a risk. Or in cases that are appropriate, we may need to mitigate a risk, right? Let's say, for example, we have a critical system. We're going to do crown jewels analysis. What are the things that we absolutely cannot function without? What is our tolerance for risk with those things? Our tolerance for risk, for example, with something like ERP, enterprise resource planning, say computers that run a factory, right? If they're not operating, you're not making widgets, you're not making any money, you're losing money. Our tolerance for risk with those is effectively zero. Conversely, our tolerance for risk with our publicly facing website is very different. It may have sales collateral on it. You don't want it to get defaced. You don't want it to get stolen. But if it does, the impact is fairly low. Somewhere in between might be financial systems, like say AP and AR. We don't want them to get compromised, but if it's down for half of a day, then we're not going to start hemorrhaging cash. It's just going to be a pain. And this is what risk management means. Risk management means taking a look at each individual capability, deciding how important it is to our organization, looking at the risks, and then whether some type of mitigation or transference or risk avoidance is appropriate, and then doing all of these things in such a way. Ultimately the goal is to reduce organizational risk or save money.